was a good bit of excitement over in the Moon Robot Discord this morning, so I thought that was good. Got everyone's attention. Things seem to be ticking along quite well since the last time we spoke, so that's also good.
Yeah, I think we managed to move forward quite a bit, and
excellent.
There's also some progress with the testnet. So we're very hopeful that next week we will finally have some bits of the testnet out.
Oh, that is exciting then. So I doubt you're doing much sleep at the moment, mate. Just busy working.
Yeah, I had to kind of deprioritize sleep for the past few days.
Good stuff. Well, it looks like we're starting to get a pretty good audience here, and I think Roshi's got the Craigbot recording there for anyone that's running late or can't make it. So that's pretty good. So I think we can probably get into it. And so I'd start by saying welcome and thanks for coming. We really appreciate you taking the time, and I think all the community, both at Moon Robots and Alpha, really do like the opportunity to have a yarn to you. So thanks for coming and welcome to our Discord after we came to yours last time.
Yeah, we're very happy and thankful for the opportunity to be here and share the project. I hope we have some fresh faces or fresh ears to present the project to, and even if not, I guess I'm sure we're going to be able to share some new information with those who were with us last time.
Excellent. Yeah, we're sort of treated as though everyone's kind of new to the project to start with. I know we covered a lot of stuff last time, but this we'll do another recording for people that are sort of a bit new. But there's also some new stuff there that we want to talk about. These bundles are pretty exciting, and we're getting closer to a mint date. So it might be good to really discuss how you're going with the egg NFTs and talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Just a second, I'm gonna make an announcement that AMA is live.
Excellent. We always love new information here.
Okay.
And we've got sorry to interrupt. Also, we've got some silver whitelist spots there to give away for any. I think we'll give at least one of them to say the best question for the day, and I don't know if you had anything in mind that you thought maybe you'd give one away for, Froggy, and we might throw an Alpha OG badge in the mix because we probably want to talk about that a little later on as well. So. Yeah.
The way we usually do, we just pick like a random 3 people from the audience and do a ticket giveaway. So we have
awesome.
some silver tickets to give away. So, what was your plan with the best question? So, what did you want to offer from your?
In the past, we've sort of offered a Alpha Gaming DAO. We're doing some OG badges to allow access to our IDO, which should be we'll start selling the badges on the 10th of April. So it's just a first opportunity for some people to get a hold of those. So we've given one of those away in the last couple of AMAs just for good questions, because we really like engagement from the community, and we appreciate the thought and time that goes into some of the questions. So that's what we've done in the past.
All right. So you will be picking the best question today for the badge reward.
Yeah, I think we might leave that to Kev or Roshi. Or Kev, you're listening in, so if you want to maybe pick the best question if we have a good question later on, or that'll save me going back through them all when we get there. We quite often get a fair bit of as we're going. We've found that we've got sort of lots of questions that lead out of the conversations we're having. So if anyone does have questions along the way and they want to type them in the text, we've got the Moon Robots AMA questions page just there above the voice channels. You'll see it on the left of screen. There's a few questions in there already, and if anyone wants to add them, I'll come back to them and we can put them to Froggy so that everyone gets a good opportunity to interact.
All right. So you mentioned that a lot of people still don't know much about our project. So should I do like a quick summary of
I think so. I think if you give us a quick background. Explain to us about oil and explain to those that don't that haven't heard maybe about the eggs and the system and how your whitelist is working, and tell us a little bit about your project to start with, I think, and then we'll maybe get into it as we go along. We'll go a bit more highbrow and a bit deeper as we go, but yeah, it'd be nice to just maybe explain to us how you'd explain to someone that's never heard of Moon Robots before about your project.
All right. So what we're building is a cross-chain play-to-earn game theory web-based game. So it's gonna be web-based, very similar to DeFi Kingdoms, but it's gonna have a few differences and a bit of simplification of the systems so that players can get like a little bit easier, more casual access to the game and its features. We think there are some DeFi projects or GameFi projects that are a little bit or on the complex side. So the game is going to have robots with different stats, so you can think of them as heroes. There's going to be Gen Zero robots, which we are basically offering through the NFT sale, and there will also be lands which offer more of a passive income kind of earnings compared to robots, which are more like DFK heroes, which you need to use in quests and kind of actively employ. Okay. So, like, you can think like maybe like if I had to summarize it in one sentence, I'd say it's DFK meets Mars Colony, but in a casual format with different visuals and with some interesting mechanics. Kind of like everything is aimed at making the project and the experience more accessible to people. So the timeline on or the rollout of the features is gonna go like this. So beginning of April, we're gonna have our NFT sale. It's gonna go for one, and we're gonna be selling robot eggs. So these are 10,000 NFTs, which will in May turn into Genesis robot. So 1-to-1, you get your egg, it's gonna turn into a robot in May. Before that, you're gonna be able to mine our token oil using those eggs, and either sell it on market or participate in land NFT sale, which will be for oil. And basically, if you own an egg, you're going to be able to mine enough oil from it to get access to a land. This is our kind of preliminary estimate of how much oil players going to be able to get from the egg. So just to reiterate, early April, you buy eggs for one, then somewhere late April, there's going to be land sale for oil, and early May, the eggs turn into robots, and the game, the main feature set of the game begins. So there will be robot quests, sending your robots to quests, find items, find oil. There will be liquidity mining, and there will be land games. So all landowners are going to be able to earn some passive income having their lands. There's differences between our game and Mars Colony in terms of how lands actually earn and how lands are upgraded. There is connection with the robot, so it's not like you need to spend oil to upgrade your land to turn more oil. It's a little bit more gamified and complicated. If we get some questions about this, we can talk more. So if people are interested, just pop your questions in the chat or in the AMA questions, and we'll go over if you're keen on learning details about the gameplay. Or alternatively, we can sort of shift our focus towards the main sale, because like I think there's a lot of interest right now regarding bundles, discounts, and everything, and how tickets work. And this has been kind of like a hot topic for now. So depending on what audience thinks, we could decide what to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think you've done a great job of starting us off there, Froggy. Like, you've answered a lot of my questions that I've had written down there. I've got a couple to add while we're on it. While we're on the robot eggs and the oil. How long after are we expecting, sort of directly on mint day of those eggs, that the oil will start producing and appearing in wallets? Is that the expectation? So the faster people buy an egg, the earlier they start producing oil, or is there going to be some delay between egg mint and oil production?
Okay, so the oil will start accumulating on eggs from the day the minting starts. So even those who are late to mint, whenever they buy an egg, there will be some oil in it already. So this will encourage everyone to purchase an egg. Even if you're a late buyer, you might go on the page and it will show you that, okay, this egg costs $9.91, and there's already some oil in it. And this, like, we don't know how much the oil is going to be, but it might be up to, I don't know, like, let's say there's $50 of oil already on an egg. So we expect this to play a major role in how the demand will be formed during the sale. So guys, if you have your whitelist tickets, please hold on to them and try to get in on the whitelist sale so that you don't have to compete with the others on the main sale and miss the egg.
Excellent. No, thanks. That's interesting. I think that's quite a cool idea. Yeah, it means people aren't going to miss out, and they're not going to be behind the eight ball too much on those initial mints, which should keep people going. You've mentioned bundles, and we've talked about announcements, and I think maybe this is the time we get to that, because we've sort of covered there what those robots are going to be doing and why we want them. And let's hear about how we're going to go about getting our hands on these bundles, and how we're going to be able to buy the eggs. I think that's probably what a lot of people are here to hear.
All right. Yeah. So basically, we have reached out to some of our key partners, including your community, and offered them a limited deal to prepay for the eggs via a 20x bundle, and get a discount and a little extra on top. So the way it works, basically, well, we will have to use an escrow of some sort. So, like, maybe someone from Alpha Gaming DAO is going to be able to do it on your part. So people will have to transfer the stated amount of one to the wallet, to the escrow wallet, and we will send out a free mint ticket, 20x free mint ticket to them, which can be used or redeemed basically on the day the whitelist sale begins. So this gives a guaranteed allocation for the whole duration of the mint before the cutoff point, and I think cutoff point is going to be when the eggs hatch. During that time, the ticket will have to be redeemed. So there'll be like a whole month or more to redeem the ticket. Basically, like, I mean, just stating that there is no like a small window to use it, but there's going to be plenty of time, so no rush. But yeah, basically the ticket is redeemed on the sale page, and it will give you 20 eggs for no cost at the time. So you will only pay for gas to perform the transaction, and that's how it works. So total savings amounts to around 25% or more if you count the fact that there will be extra land bundled with each purchase. So everyone buying 20 eggs or more is going to get free land. So basically, people going with the bundle thing, they're getting 25% discount and some free land. We haven't decided the exact amount, but I think it's going to be around 2 free land pieces per bundle.
Excellent. And so that's open. From what date are you going to start selling those bundles, Froggy?
So we are registering interest already, and some of our partners have covered, I think, like around 50% of the whole amount we planned to distribute. So if there are people interested, please express your interest ASAP, either in our Discord or in Alpha Gaming DAO Discord, and provide your wallet address, and we will add it to the list. So once our ticket limit has been reached, then we will make an announcement that the tickets are sold out, and basically from that point we will start doing the escrow. So right now, you don't have to send any funds, but once we have the full amount of people interested, then we will make an announcement. Okay, now you can do the transfer, and we are ready to send out tickets.
Okay, so we're looking for interest, and interest will be, I believe there will be a page on the Moon Robot Discord where people can register interest. Get in touch with us as well, and we'll send you towards Froggy.
Exactly. Yes.
So that totals, if there's 200 of those, if there's 100 of those packages, is that right? Or how many robots in that effective whitelist from those bundles, Froggy? Is that 2,000 total, or what are we expecting there?
How many? It's 2,000 to 3,000. So right now we're looking at so it will be no more than 3,000 robots sold via this deal.
That's quite exciting, though. That's quite bullish. If you can get anywhere near that, you'd be pretty excited, wouldn't you? That's quite good numbers, and it's good to hear that people are already registering interest. That's 75% discount. 25% discount. Sorry. Significant.
Yes. So we already have, I think, half of that covered. So they're going up pretty fast.
That's cool.
We have just made an announcement within our community, and we have some community members interested as well.
Excellent. Yeah, this is all quite new stuff. I noticed some people were quite excited about it, and I think myself, the more you think about it, the better the deal is. So it's quite significant. It's quite significant and quite exciting if we're getting that much interest. That was sort of. I was going to ask you another question. Sort of your mint duration. Do you guys have an expectation or a hope regarding the original Gen 0 egg mint duration? Are you aiming to mint out sort of as quickly as possible, or it's something that you guys are happy to let roll through that April-May period and even through the initial hatchings?
I think we are aiming at around like a week or like 2 weeks at most to get sold out. Sort of like we're doing our best to get enough interest and to get the pricing structure or sales structure the way that would encourage a quick sold out event. The reason why we're doing this is the more the sale will drag on, the less confident the investors are going to be and the players are going to be. And we don't want that. So we want to build a lot of hype, and we want to build a lot of interest in the sale. And we also want to sort of gauge or estimate what is the current total interest in the project. So we will have our so today or tomorrow we are launching a new website, and it's going to have a registration form where everyone is going to be able to participate in a whitelist ticket raffle, basically by stating an amount of how much they are willing to purchase. So you connect with your MetaMask, you type in your email so that we can reach out to you, and you state how much you want to pay on the mint day, and this will allow us to basically calculate what is the total current interest for the project. So this will give us a very good estimate on how much and how fast we're going to be able to sell when the mint starts. And if we see that there is not enough interest, then we will have to work harder and make sure that it's all covered. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a very quick sold out.
Excellent. It's it's I know in dealing with these things that it's that balance that you have to get right, isn't it? The balance between demand and supply, and you don't want to be cutting too many people out of the project, but equally you can't wait forever for these guys to jump in. So it's an interesting balance to get. Do you have sort of an idea on how many wallets you'd like to see holding the eggs? Just to get them out, like, are you hoping to get them out over sort of as many people as possible, or it's okay with a little bit of a concentration in a few of the wallets, of these bigger wallets? Do you have a preference that you guys are looking at?
There will be during whitelist, there will be a limit on how much you can mint, because the tickets are used for that. So obviously, we all know that even if we impose a limit per wallet, people are just going to create multiple wallets and make purchases like that. So there's nothing we can do to as a countermeasure to that trick. But
I totally understand that.
Yes. So basically, the way we are selling the bundles and the way we have been distributing our whitelist tickets, we have a good understanding on how many wallets are holding them and how many people, how many different entities are actually going to be participating in the sale. So obviously, we don't want big players. We want this to be as distributed as possible. But we also again, it's in everyone's best interest if the project is sold out soon enough and the team gets enough funding to keep the project going. So we cannot cut off bigger players either. So it's about the balance. So we rough estimate, I would say on average people will be holding around 5 eggs. This is my absolutely eyeballing it, which means we would have around 2,000 different players at first.
I think that'd be a good number, and the community size that you guys have got at the moment sort of lends itself to thinking that that's eminently doable. I sort of thought in myself that if you could get to 3,000 wallets, it would be brilliant. So that's the range I was sort of expecting you to say, and I actually think you can do it with what I've seen. And I think you've given me a pretty good segue there, talking about the funds and how that's going to help develop the game. I've got written down a little note here, just looking to see if you guys sort of had an idea on the split of how that funding from that initial sale of eggs might go. Do you have a percentage in mind that might be going towards game dev, or are we looking at going into quest funds or things like that? What's the intention with those initial funds at this point?
Okay, well, right now we have a team of around 10 people working working like almost full time with us. So we don't have like official contracts with all of them, but basically there's a lot of mouths to feed and salaries to pay, and something that which we haven't been able to sort of successfully execute for now, because the project has been self-funded from onwards. We don't have any seed or private investors or anything. So there's that. There is a lot of marketing spending that we will have to do to ensure that those who participated in the sale actually are going to be able to profit from it. Because if there is no marketing after we do the sale, then there is no awareness, and then there's no more people coming in on the project. So we'll do that. We will also have to do the contract reviews and audit. That also costs quite a lot, and we will need to have some emergency fund as well. So for whatever extra development or marketing efforts we would require, we will do liquidity, like initial liquidity event. So there will be we will have to add around 200,000 US dollars to the liquidity pool to ensure that the token has enough liquidity for people to sell or buy. So this is also one of the expenses we will need to have.
Yeah,
there might be something else.
No,
I don't hold the whole spreadsheet.
I think you've done pretty. I think you've given a pretty good explanation. I put you on the spot a little bit there, but I think all of those expenditures are sort of what people like to hear, and those plans are what people like to hear, and it's just nice to remind people of where that stuff's going, because we expect a lot out of these projects, but we have to fund them. If we want them to go forward, we have to fund them, and people have to believe in them enough to actually take that risk and put enough money into projects' hands to actually get the job done. We can't get to May in Hatch State, and because everything was too cheap, you guys lose half the team, or whichever project it might be. So we totally understand that for that money, as long as it's planned for and well intentioned, well, I think it's important that projects need it. It's not cheap to put them together, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't even anticipate, or estimate how much it's going to be to deliver. And I think our community's sort of excitement for the project and our own ambition grew as we went. So to ensure, that we deliver on our promises, we basically will need funding. But on the topic of funding, there is we could talk a bit more about the sort of how the project is going to be funded beyond the initial sale. Because if you think about the incentive alignments, after collecting money, the dev team isn't very incentivized to keep delivering on the project if there is no more money to be made. So as anyone can read on our white paper page, docs.moonrobots.one, the token allocations are stated there. How many tokens will be on the initial launch, how many tokens will be allocated for the egg rewards, what's going to liquidity mining rewards, etc., etc. There's going to be around 20% development fund with 12 months vesting period. So basically, this is going to be the funds that will keep the team and the project running long term.
Yeah, if anyone here is has come in through Alpha and you haven't been and looked at the Moon Robots Discord, there is actually a links page there that will take you straight to their documents and white paper. That's quite good, and yeah, we'll give you a really good background about the project. So if anyone hasn't been and found that, that's an easy way to get there. Yeah, I think it's been updated recently too, Froggy. Yeah.
Yes, we constantly keep updating it. Like small updates came just yesterday, but there will be some bigger updates going into the sale.
Excellent. It sounds like you've got some updates for the roadmap too. Some exciting dates there. I'm quite surprised to hear that Mint is going to be as soon as April. So I think that just shows that you guys have been working pretty hard over there to get it all done. I've sort of you've covered so much good stuff here, mate. Like you've come across a lot of my initial questions. So if there's anything that sort of we haven't done that you'd like to add before we head over and start taking some of the questions in the text page, go for it. This is the time.
I think we can just jump straight into questions.
Cool. So there's quite a long one here from me from earlier on this afternoon, and he hasn't been able to drop in. I think we've actually covered this stuff in the stuff that we've already talked about, but the one question here that we didn't, the whitelist tickets are guaranteed in the Mint. If some of them are unused in those whitelist tickets, what's going to happen with those robots?
All right. So yeah, it's a good question. So the way it's going to be, we will have a whitelist window during which all whitelist holders will be invited to participate in the sale. And during that window, the allocation stated on the ticket is going to be reserved for them. So we are not overbooking. So everyone who has the whitelist ticket is going to be able to get the amount. But during that window, after the window is over, they can still use the ticket to get a discount, but the allocation is not going to be guaranteed because, yeah, exactly like according to this question, otherwise there would be some unlimited eggs because somebody lost the ticket, somebody didn't buy the whole amount, and stuff like that. So we cannot hold those eggs for forever.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair, and it sounds like you're going to give people plenty of opportunity and plenty of notice to use those tickets before they will expire. So I think that's fair and reasonable. You can't have 500 robots sit there forever for people that are never coming. So I think that's fair.
Just a side note: the free mint tickets, those will last for the whole duration. So if you have a free mint, it means basically that you have prepaid for your egg. So you're going to be able to redeem that ticket during the whole duration, basically up until the egg hatching. What's going to happen after that, we don't know yet, because obviously, if whoever has prepaid for their eggs, we don't want them to lose the money. But it's also blockchain, so we will have to find out a way how to convert the ticket for them. But we hope that 1 month will be plenty of time for everyone who already paid us to redeem their eggs.
Yeah. No, that sounds fair. That sounds fair, and I'm glad you mentioned that because there probably would have been some people out there saying, "Well, yeah, what am I going to do with my free mint ticket?" So, yeah, if you're listening along, go and mint with it. I think there's a little bit here about the tickets and the pricing on the tickets. Are you reading that, Froggy? I think we may have covered a little bit of it, but if you had anything more to add about those whitelist tickets there.
All right. So for our whitelist ticket holders, we offer an opportunity to get extra savings by converting them to free mint tickets. The conversion page will go live on our website. So there's going to be a My Tickets page where you can see all your tickets. You will not have to go on NFT Key and check your wallet there. You're going to be able to check the tickets right on our page. But there will be a convert button with which you basically pay the little less than the remaining amount, and it's going to give you a free mint ticket with the same allocation that your whitelist ticket was. And in total, it will give you a better deal than just using the ticket on the sale date. So we're doing this so that to honor our whitelist ticket holders and those who have been with us earlier, and since we announced the bundle sale only now, we thought that it might be fair for them to, or for us to offer them a similar kind of opportunity.
And I think that's fair, and I think everyone will understand that. So yeah, if anyone has any issues with that, I'm sure it's going to be pretty easy to understand on the website when that's all up and running. I assume, Rosh, that'll be quite easy to understand or well explained for ticket holders in that website process. So the next couple of questions here, I think we've touched on a little bit, which is good. Cheers for that, me. When you're listening back later on, mate, I think we appreciate the effort. So Fractal Harmony here, asking about the roadmap and tokenomics, and when you think you might have those things exactly locked in. We've heard some good stuff about the roadmap and time and dates already. There's just a little bit of a Mars Colony reference there about changes and people being worried about that. So maybe just talk to us about when you expect to have your tokenomics finalised.
So the tokenomics are going to be finalized prior to the token generation event. So once we cover the token contract, this is when we will publish and announce the final numbers. So basically, there's that, and the roadmap so far is like, well, I wouldn't say that we want to keep it flexible, but basically, whatever we do in the best interest of our community, because like every kind of falling out situation is just not good for us as well. So we don't want to lead to any frustration. So I think locking the roadmap would basically mean that it would put everyone at a disadvantageous position, because let's say if we lock the dates, then we will have to rush in some points and just deliver half-baked features. Or if we lock the feature set, we might actually be able to provide the best solutions, or the best design, considering how players are experiencing the project or what they are expecting to happen. So basically, we will be in touch with the community and maintain sort of close connections with them to make sure that whatever we do is welcome and understood, and our goal here is to make a project that that players use and enjoy, because this is the only way to succeed in actually delivering a good blockchain product. So it's not us playing the game; it's the community playing the game, and I think they would agree that this is the best way to go.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair and reasonable, and I think most communities, if that communication is open and the expectations are sort of are set and open between community members and dev team, it just solves a lot of these issues, doesn't it? So people don't like surprises because, well, we don't like change, but for the most part, they should only be getting done for the benefit of people. So if we can explain them and communicate properly, well, then that solves a little bit of that fear that creeps in when those things are happening. Cheers for that question, Fractal. That's cool. Timeline minting between we've covered that a little bit. Features. What features can we expect in testnet? Testnet. That's an interesting question from Letrix there.
Yeah. So. Yes. So basically, we are releasing testnet as a requirement for the Harmony grant. This is basically something that we are, I would say, trying to get as a minimum viable that is required for the Harmony grant, because otherwise we will have to postpone our mint, and there's like a lot of people are being anxious already about the you know, about why the mint is not happening, and so we kind of listened to the community that a lot of them also wanted us to get the grant. It's not a lot of money, especially given that the grant is delivered in smaller chunks of $10,000 US, but it establishes trust between us community and Harmony team, and this is what we're going for here. So the testnet is going to be minimum viable that's required. So it's going to have a MetaMask connection. It's going to have the egg game. It's going to have oil collection, and the egg color combining, the egg upgrades, and possibly robot hatching. This is the feature set that's going to be available for the testnet, and this is what we're aiming for. If we would have to create more features in that would postpone the sale by quite a bit. So this is the feature set that we have kind of converged upon for this.
Yeah, no, understandable. I think that's well answered. I think, and I think it's quite nice for people to be able to operate in testnet opportunities. And I totally hear what you're saying about the Harmony grants. Obviously, all money's great, and and support from people is great. But that main thing that communities like it for is really the fact that I think it's a little bit the doxing and a little bit just that extra layer of trust that it provides for people, isn't it? Is mainly what people are looking for out of it. There's a good question here from WMG about striking a balance between entertainment and returns and the DeFi economy. I might rephrase it a little and say, sort of, for you guys in your ethos and in your aims, if you come up against a decision that sort of is weighted equally, and you have to go one way for returns and for profit, or entertainment with the other way, which way do you guys think you're more likely to be deciding? If that makes sense, like which way will you weight the game more?
I would say here at Moon Robots, we're building a GameFi project. So its main target audience, at least for the core features, is people who are interested in DeFi mechanics, or like I would say, gamified DeFi mechanics. So we understand that we cannot provide the same entertainment value as conventional or mainstream gaming. Like, I mean, if you want to have fun, or if you want to have great gameplay, get GTA 5 or GTA Online and go ahead and play fine. Like, it's gonna be much better gaming experience than trying to play the game in a web browser, or using MetaMask on your phone. So that's absolutely no questions. I think there is a different kind of fun in GameFi projects, and this is what people in the space are valuing. It's the interesting and gamified way of engaging with financial products. So I think this is
strategizing and
exactly. It's a strategy game. It's a strategy game that has some game-like visuals, and that allows you to make real money. So this is what it is, and I think most people are actually interested in that sort of experience. So we're trying to focus our development and game design efforts on that particular kind of user. And this is why we're making a game that's displayable from mobile devices as well as desktop devices. It's going to be playable via browser. So wherever you are, let's say you're on a train and you want to check how your robots are doing, or how much value you mind, you're going to be able to do it from the phone. You won't have to install an app or wait through loading screens and such. we're also going to be using a web-based rendering, so there is no awkward losing your mouse cursor or your laptop overheating from from the game engine running and stuff like this. So we have tried these projects, and it doesn't provide, like, so far technology doesn't provide a smooth and seamless experience. So for our players, it will be the best if the game is more or less the way we are shaping it up to be. There's also another issue of blockchain. So basically, if we want to have a game fully trustless, fully decentralized, we will have to run it through blockchain. And even with Harmony being one of the fastest out there, there is still delays in transactions. So it's not like instant. It takes few seconds, and you can imagine, even if you were playing like a chess game or a checkers game, it's going to be a very frustrating experience. Even though it's a turn-based game, like for every turn you would have to create transaction, approve transaction, then wait a few seconds for it to confirm and such. And even such slow games would be a frustration. And then if we make a more real-time game, it means that it will not have to be decentralized. Like basically, if you make a racing game, it's not blockchain who decides or ensures who wins. It's the server, the conventional centralized server who decides the winner. And I think there is no good and trustless ways of doing this at the moment. And I think again, we are not going to be able to provide the same like racing experience. If you make a racing game, like we're not going to be able to make the same game as Rocket League. Like you can imagine the budgets that go into making such thing, and then here we have to explain why we need like $1 million. Like when the budget for developing like a proper game goes into tens and hundreds of millions, and I know what I'm saying. Like I've been making games that cost up to $100 million in development, and I've been through the process, so it's completely different.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of opportunity for creativity and outside the box thinking as far as making these games still interactive and still engaging, but as you say, building in that wait period for certain transactions to get through. And I think there's a lot of projects that will be sort of looking for that balance and looking for that engagement still in their fun side of their gameplay, and it's going to take some time. But like we've all played text-based games that are really enjoyable. So there's opportunities there for a bit of outside the box thinking, I think, and we may not even quite see yet the game style that works best on these blockchains. I think that's probably reasonable comment there. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. I think Letrix has gone into gameplay mechanics a little bit there, but we've sort of touched on that a touch. Are you expecting to have? We are expecting some sort of. We know we're questing and we know we're going oil mining, but there are going to be some sort of, as you've mentioned, racing and perhaps battling at some point, isn't there?
There might be some battling, some PvP. We don't know whether Harmony or some other blockchains are going to have mechanics for smooth experience for that, or we would have to go centralized way and establish a server for the battle mechanics, or the battle would be totally idle. So basically, you just send your robot to battle others, and then blockchain does the calculations and comes up with the result. So there's multiple ways of doing it, and we're obviously looking into at least PvP as it's stated in our roadmap. There's a lot of ways. Like you mentioned, we don't know yet how the space is going to evolve, and how which mechanics actually turn out to be a very successful in the decentralized space. But like here, we're not trying to innovate or make crazy bets. What we're doing here is we're combining the most successful mechanics that have been proven working in the GameFi space. So Mars Colony Land game, we are taking it to the next level with different ways, with upgrading lands, with items, connecting it with the robot game, creating weight-based rewards. Then the robot game, basically, it's based on the dev case experience in making such mechanics. What we're doing with this is we're simplifying it, adding our own flavor, and making it more accessible. Basically, like we think this is the best approach in terms of our like from the perspective of our investors, because like not everyone wants to. Well, I mean, crypto projects are risky by themselves, but making a risky crypto project is risky squared. So this is something that we are not, and I think our investors are not ready yet.
No, I think that's a fair answer, and I think it's important as a project to know exactly where you're going. To have good aims and achievable aims is half the problem, isn't it? We can promise the world, but it doesn't matter if you can't deliver. So it's important to know where you're going.
Exactly. I think sort of the majority of the gameplay in Moon Robots is going to happen in items and crafting and trading. So we're going to have much more items than I think every other blockchain game there is. We're going to have ways for players to combine items into more powerful items. They're going to be able to trade them on internal marketplace and on external marketplaces as well. We are already talking with other blockchain projects on some cross-project gameplay. Basically, you're going to be able to use your robots or your lands in other projects. Quick example, when Lambo, we've been talking with them about having limited time quests where each other project's NFTs can be used to advantage. So there's going to be like a lot of gameplay that goes outside or a meta gameplay, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent. No, I think that's quite interesting. I think we're starting to see some really good cooperation between projects within the Harmony ecosystem. We've got some really good teams. I like those Lambo guys; they're good for us. So I look forward to seeing what you guys can come up with together there. So I'll just keep flicking through because we seem to take it use lots of time, but we've got lots of listeners now, so that's really good. Thanks so much for sticking around, guys. There's a few more questions here. Just a few things about. There's a little bit here on the population of the robots. So we know that we have 10,000 Gen Zeros, and they're infinite breeding. The Gen Zeros can't die. Does that suggest that the later generations will be able to die? And do you have an idea on sort of limiting those numbers at some point, or you're happy to just let it continue to grow over time?
Well, so far the most fun part of gameplay, like the most engaging gameplay, is with robots. So as the player base grows, we want everyone who is interested to have the ability to fully engage with the game. So we will have to make sure that the game balancing is adjusted the way that everyone who wants or who needs enough is going to be able to afford what and play with it. So again, like it's in everyone's best interest that there is more players in the game, and the more players there is, the larger the game economy, and the better rewards we can pay to the players. So the Gen Zero robots, yes, they will never be able to die, and they will be able to breed forever. They will be the most valuable items in the game, alongside the land. Then the following generations, so they will have functionality, so to say. When they run out of health points, they will die. Basically, you will have to maintain your robots repaired, and if you see that your robot is losing health points on a quest, you will have to take them into the quest and repair. That would require certain items that can be either found in the quest or can be traded with other players who managed to find them before that. And some of these items will be craftable, so you can find the parts for like a repair kit and then create a repair kit inside the game and then use it to repair your. So this mechanic will ensure that robots don't breed forever, and there is always like the robots will always remain breedable. But on the other hand, the price for the later gen robots doesn't skyrocket, remains accessible for the new players.
We've seen in lots of these games that lots. I'm sort of referring to DFK when I say that the numbers of heroes or NFTs that are sort of bred out of these Gen Zeros tend to reflect the floor price, and people don't necessarily breed if there's no profit in the breeding. So you don't tend to. Well, you do see jumps in numbers, and then it steadies out as those numbers are all taken up and the floor rises again. So I think there is a little balance that comes in with these things if you can get the sort of supply and demand right in the cost of that breeding, it works. So I think there's a lot to be said there. I think we've covered a couple more of those questions there. NFTs will be minted in 991. That's what we're going with?
Yes, this is going to be the full price, $9.90. This is full price at the public sale. It can be lower if you have a discount whitelist ticket, or if you do a prepayment, like in a form of bundle or in a form of premium ticket.
So get a bundle or get a whitelist ticket, or else that's the cost. So we've covered next generation. We know that they're coming. The most novel features, I think we sort of touched on a few of them. Froggy, I think you guys do have reasonable novel stuff. There's a few questions here. Sort of how you think you're going to go on that mint time, and I think we've sort of covered that. Is there any questions there that you think? An alpha robot. We might have to get ourselves a few alpha robots, Fractal. Cross-chain expansion, Roshi. Did you want to talk more about your cross-chain plans, Froggy? Or I know you do have plans, but is it something that you sort of where you're going to cross to, or is it something that's sort of a little bit down the track and you'll find the right one when the time presents?
We know that the best course of action is to expand our reach beyond Harmony, to attract more players and to grow user base. So this will allow us to get more people on Harmony as well, and it's gonna allow us to get more players on the other chains that we expand to. We don't have exact plans where we are going with this, and exactly when. It's going to be somewhere in Q3 this year. But the basics are, it's going to be EVM chain. It's EVM compatible. It's going to have sub 5 seconds finality for smooth experience. Ideally, it should have some kind of verifiable random functions, but there are solutions to that as well. Like, for example, we can go with Chainlink. We already talked to the guys, and they have solution for the verifiable random function if the chain doesn't have a native one. So kind of covering bases there. So there's a lot of technicalities, and we don't know. We cannot predict yet. We don't know how the blockchain space is going to evolve. We don't know what other chains are going to come up with. Like Avalanche recently enabled support for side chains, and DFK went on to create their own. So we don't know what other chains are going to be offering. This might form our decisions and shape our decisions. But we are also thinking in terms of
you're right, mate. Keep going. Sorry,
Sorry?
mate. I was just going to say. I think that's wise to sort of not make any commitments until you're at the point where you're actually able to make your decision based on current information. So I think that's the wise move to not lock yourself in anywhere too soon.
Yeah, I think porting on an EVM chain is not a big deal. Like technically, it's an easy thing. Like the most difficult thing is answering questions why you're going there. You know, what kind of community, what kind of players you're getting there, and what kind of experience can you offer? Are you gonna just clone your game to another chain, or are you gonna take advantage of that chain and make something truly unique and to expand the experience to make players from Harmony interested in playing both chains, for example? So we're looking into these things, and we will. I think we will come up with the best possible solution. Jerry, you're muted. It looks like.
Ha! Sorry, I was on mute. Kevin, are you still listening in? No. Cool. Yeah. I think you might be right. The kids have got him. For anyone that didn't know, Kev's wife's headed off to the big city for the night, and he's got the kids. He had to take them to school and bring them home from school. So it's all good. Yeah, he's a good daddy. Froggy, if you're still there, I don't know
I am.
if you had a favourite question there that you might have come across. Well, Roshi, actually, you'll be still listening, mate. If you've got if you want to have a quick look through and choose a favourite question for us to give a badge to, and maybe Emmy, if Emmy wants to go through and pick three random people for your whitelist tickets, that's how you wanted to do them, Froggy. Three
Uh,
people for those silver tickets.
yeah, let's do a raffle. Let's pick some
Raffle.
random people from the listeners.
Awesome, great idea. If someone wants to screenshot Roshi, if you want a screenshot or something like that, and we'll run a raffle. Or Emmy, if you want to do it on your end, whoever's comfortable doing it. It's not going to be me. But yeah, is there any other questions you'd like to? Oh, so Fractal gets the badge, the OG badge. Congratulations, Fractal! If you want to DM Master Roshi, he'll grab your wallet and details for that. Congratulations, mate. Froggy, did you have any more things there that you wanted to touch on?
I think I think we covered most of the topics that we originally planned, and I think we're running out of time. We've already been live for an hour, and I think everybody's getting getting tired a
We've
little bit
done.
from me rambling.
Yeah, we've done really well.
So I think Me has asked plenty of great questions. So if you think you could give him the badge, I think he deserved it.
Cool. Yep, Me gets a badge too. He'll be listening because I think he had to go to work. He did mention that, so we'll let him know that as well. That's cool. So yeah, I guess we are coming to the end. Thank you very much for coming, Froggy, and all the others. This has been really well supported. So thanks for your questions. We really find here at Alpha the DAO and the community works best if there's engagement, and we've tried to ask as many of those questions that we sort of think that people want to know as possible. So we think that's really cool. Just while I've got people, and before I do let everyone go, our badge mint. You'll start to see a little bit coming out about that. We've got a date, April 10th. We'll be selling some badges, membership OG badges that'll provide people an opportunity to participate in our IDO, which should come sort of sometime after that, not too far. So we're pretty excited about that. So yeah, there's some information floating around on our Discord and on our Twitter, and the whole team over here are more than happy to answer questions about that. So yeah, once again, thank you all for coming. Froggy, did you want to say the thank yous to the crowd and whatnot?
Exactly. Yeah. We had a huge audience today, and thanks everyone for coming over, and thank you guys for having us.
Thanks for coming, mate. Like I say, we really appreciate you. It's just a nice thing for people to be able to come and interact. So yeah, keep up the good work, mate. The only other thing I'll add is that anyone that did miss the start of the AMA, this has been recorded, so we're going to share it and we'll send it over to you guys to share it on your Discord as well, guys. And yeah, thanks so much, and we hope to do another one closer to that mint date. It's exciting.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you very much,
guys.
guys.
Let's stay in touch. Bye.
See ya.